Hi, I'm Dr. Fred DiDomenico of Elite Coaching, and over the past few months we've been doing a video series really on how to handle common objections. And it's really how to take a patient from back pain, what's my insurance cover, all these objections, all the way through into creating a lifetime patient. And I've been getting call after call after call, it seems lately, as we get into this new world of really everybody's becoming a cash patient of the common objection, I can't afford it. That's a lot of money. What does my insurance cover? All these things really come from the same mindset. And really, a financial is a mindset. So when you and your team have the right mindset and you know how to create value, you're gonna find not only can you handle this objection, but more importantly, you're not even gonna get this objection. Creating value in the financial starts from the very first phone call. So when you follow a step-by-step system with the right mindset and systems and communication, you build value, you're likely not going to run into that. And as long as you've built the value, then you're really qualifying a person not on whether or not they have resources, but what's their resourcefulness. Almost everyone has resources. The problem is there's a lack of resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is desire and value for their condition, and the pain of not being in your program has to be greater than the pain of being in your program. So let's get started with this. Let's fast forward all the way to the financial. Now in our boot camp, patient management boot camp, Release Your Power boot camp series, we spend 4 hours on handling every possible objection at the financial. So if you're in a financial and you give them the number and they say, I can't afford that, that's a lot of money. Step one is people think out loud. So here's the first principle. People think out loud. So just because that's the objection doesn't mean you have to respond to it. Let that one pass. Step one is always let it pass, because they're just thinking out loud. So don't take it too seriously. Step two is if they insist, look, I can't afford that. That's a lot of money. The next thing is if you see an objection as a barrier, then you become defensive. That's the worst thing you can do. Watch our last video on creating unity and being non-judgmental. When in reality, an objection is a question they don't know how to ask. So do they truly desire to be in your program? That answer is always yes. So when they say, I can't afford that, they have to explain their own objection. You don't have to justify your care, let them explain it. So step two would be, you can't afford it? Ask them the question and let them explain. Then they go off, well, I don't have the money, or I have this, or that's more than I expected. Now, based on what they say next is going to determine your next statement. If someone says, you know, I wasn't expecting that, I can't afford it. The next thing is, if you put yourself in their shoes, hey, they came in with back pain and 3 days later, they're learning their whole spine is wrecked, they have 15 different organ problems, they have all this stuff, they got to change the way they live their life. Can you be compassionate with that? That's really the key. Now say, you know, I wasn't expecting this. Hey, validation. What you want to do is align. Always align. Always align. Write that down. Always align. So immediately what you would do is say, you know what, Mr. Jones, I totally get it, because you came in with back pain. Now you learn the whole foundation of your health, strength, life, and youth in your body is weak and collapsing. And you have a condition that's breaking your health down, right? You may have expected this was a little easy problem, and now you see that the foundation of health and life in your body is breaking down. I understand. Now right there, well, yeah, I didn't expect it. Then the next thing, this is part of NLP, mind reading. I know that now that you've learned this and the way you want to live your life is totally different. I know your health is your top priority. And I know if there was a way that you could do this, that you would probably be open to looking at different options. Would you agree? And I'd nod my head yes. I'd have direct eye contact. And they'd say, well, yeah. Now what if it's a spouse? We can't afford that. Mr. Jones, I know you didn't expect this. I understand. Everybody in here, most people in here are in the same position you are. So you use social proof. Okay, everybody in here, use that for insurance. Well, my insurance should cover. You know what? I agree. Insurance should cover all of this. In reality, there's not an insurance company in the world that's going to get you healthy. Everybody in here is in the same position you are, right? Social proof is very important. So getting back, if it's a spouse, say, well, we can't afford it, Mr. Jones. I know your wife's health is really your top priority. I know you care about her, and I know more than anything that you would want to do, that you would want her to be healthy. And I say that because, when you say the word because, it adds credibility to your statement. I say that because you just went through the workshop. Hey, we just looked at their x-rays. You're taking time to be able to support her. So I know that, so I already know that. Would you agree? Yes, so if there's a way that we can help you afford this, I'd use the same word. Would you want to look at it? Now there's just 3 steps in the financial. The 3rd step is find resources. Now find resources means that this is an investment. See, people will say, well, I can't afford it. Well, is that because it's not in your budget? Well, yeah, we just don't have that. I can't afford the monthly payments or whatever. Oh, I get it. See, you think this is a budget thing. This isn't budget. Look at my body language. This is an investment that's going to bring you health for the next 40 to 50 years. It's going to bring your wife health and happiness. Mr. Jones, you know if your wife's not happy, nobody's happy. Is that true? Got to keep the woman happy or nobody's happy. So just kidding, sort of. But really, isn't that true? This is an investment in their health. So as soon as you qualify the investment, then you go into resources. Do you have a line of credit? Do you have a college fund? Do you have stocks? Do you have a pension? So right there, find resources are going to bring out objections. Well, you know, we have credit cards, but we swear not to use our credit cards. Oh, so you do have the money. See, a minute ago they said they couldn't afford it. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you not use your credit cards because you don't like to pay interest? Or why don't you use your credit cards? Well, we only save that for an emergency. See, people have money set aside, but that's not it because we made an agreement we don't spend that money. See, that's a core value. What you'd say is, do you save that for emergencies? Well, yeah, we only save that for a crisis. Would you consider, the condition of your wife's health in crisis right now? See, that's it right there. Boom, there's a reality shift. Is this a crisis? Well, if they say no, then you have an uncommon reality. So in finding resources, what you have to do is change their focus. See, they're focused on the money. We change their focus on their condition, Mr. Jones. It's really important right here. Are you ready? Write this down. Do you believe that you or your wife has a condition that's breaking your health down every day? Is it making her sicker and sicker every day? She has 18 different health problems. What's happening to her health every day? I know you don't want her health to worsen or collapse into the worst state of disease. Is that right? See, once you establish that common reality, I've shifted their focus. Let me ask you a question. What happens if she doesn't do this program? See, once they agree to that, what happens if you don't do it? Is that scary? Does that concern you? Does that scare you? See, now what you're doing is creating pain and suffering that's greater if they don't do the program. So if there's a way that we could show you how to do this, would you want to look at it? Automatically look at my body language. Stay within a close interpersonal distance. I know this video's going long. Hang in there, this is really important. Okay? So right there, find resources. Now you gotta be creative. Well, we have our college fund. For our kid, we can't spend that. When's he going to college? Well, in 5 years. Okay. Could you invest that in your wife's health now and replenish that in the next few years? Would that be a possibility? Well, yeah, so you're ready to do that today. In your opinion, would that be really valuable to restore your wife's health now before it gets any worse? If she recovers her health now, then could you replace that within a reasonable amount of time? Well, we could, so then you're ready to invest today. Same thing with credit cards, right? Same thing with any of it. Are they willing to liquidate stocks? Now, when you create so much value before you get to this point, finding resources is easy. The reason people look in their budget, they look in their liquid cash, they don't think about investments. But once you shift their focus, that this is an investment in the rest of their life, it's called a salient point. Hey, your investment now gives you 40 years of benefits. What's the salient point? Something small now has a massive return, gives a massive result. So use salient points. 40 years of health, change your life for the rest of your life. Salient points are important on finding resources. Again, do you have a retirement plan? Mr. Jones, well, we use stocks for our retirement. Mr. Jones, do you have a health plan in your retirement? Well, no, we don't. Well, would that be smart? Yes, it would. So we could look at money you've invested in retirement. That's the difference. The mindset is an investment for the rest of their life. Frame it like that. Get out of their bank account or cash flow. That doesn't matter. When they see it as an investment, they'll be willing to go to all their resources. Again, qualify desire and you find resourcefulness. All right, there you go. More tips coming at you. Have an awesome day. If you want to really advance and change the way you influence people, then call about our advanced communication and our boot camps. We spend hours and hours handling all of this so you won't have to deal with that anymore. Reach your vision on a greater level. Thanks tons.